And 3, 2, 1. What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze tonight?
What's up in the House of Craze tonight? We are going to be talking Cosmic Wars. And we're also going to be talking about, when and why we bring in the old properties. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a few minutes.
Yeah, man. So, without further ado, let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the craze. If you are an independent, catch the craze. Making moves on your own, catch the craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the craze. Join the movement, catch the craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. Yeah, you want to do it. Catch the craze. The Catch the Craze podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera. And I am with
George, the Dreamer Medina. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Catch the Craze. It is Tuesday, February 10th. We are 2 days away from the launch of Cosmic Wars. But before we get into that, please subscribe to the channel, comment, like, share the show out to everyone who enjoys this kind of content, which is talking to indie creators by indie creators. And today we're going to be talking to you, Sam, about Cosmic Wars and what's coming down the pike on Thursday when we launch the campaign for the comic book, which you created a while ago. But before we get to that, usually I ask Sam, hey, how you doing and what's going on with you? But today we're going to do it a little different. We're going to start with what I'm doing, and then we're going to go for the rest of the show is going to be the Sammy show. We're going to be doing that, and then we're also going to be talking about a little topic, which is when and why, or why and when do we bring back the old properties that we create? Why do we do that? When should we do that? So we're going to be talking about that. But first, let me let everybody know that everything is out for the shameless plug. So please, if you haven't received your package, you have to let me know so that I can check to see what's going on, see if I can get it out to you again. But thanks to everyone who basically supported the project and pledged to the campaign. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. To those who pre-ordered the book online, thank you. Also, I was able to send all that out. What's up, everyone? Aniwa's out there. What up, dog? And Charles. What up, Charles?
What's up, Charles?
So everybody who supported the book, thank you so much. On my website right now, you guys can pre-order the entire graphic novel, which is 140 pages. And if you still want to check out the first chapter of the book, this is the first chapter of the book. It is available right now. So go to my website, getyourmeds.com, pick up a copy of the book. The interior of this is slightly different from everything that you guys got on the campaign. So the stuff you got on the campaign is one of a kind. So, but if you do want to get a copy of the book is available. 40 pages of this bad boy. Do that for sure, and make sure that you sign up for the mailing list, because what I'm going to be doing is, until the book goes to print, I am going to make you responsible for choosing the cover of the graphic novel. So I'm going to have a few options. You guys are going to vote on those options and let me know which one you prefer. But make sure you sign up to the email list, because only those people will be allowed to vote and they will be responsible for it. The other thing I have, Sam, before we start with your stuff, is tomorrow is New Comic Book Day at comic book shops all over the country. And the 5th issue of The Adventures of Wonder Duck hits shelves. So make sure that you go into your comic book shop. If they haven't ordered The Adventures of Wonder Dog, tell them to go to getyourmeds.com. They can order it from there. I have a link to my distributor. If they sign up, they can order the books and get them there. This is the 5th issue in an 8-issue miniseries. So make sure you guys pick that up. And yeah, and that's it. And then this weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, I'll be in Texas. But Sam, we'll talk a little bit more about that. So
What's up,
tell
Dan?
me, Sam, what you been up to, brother?
What have I been up to? What have I been up to?
What have you been up to?
Working on Cosmic Wars and getting ready for a convention next week, and I'm getting ready to drop a cover reveal, variant cover
Cool.
reveal tonight,
Drop what?
limited edition cover reveal tonight for a
Okay.
guest artist on the series. So
Yes,
last week
yes.
we dropped Lupin's homage to Frazetta of Gorf, which is right here. Let me pull that up. So last week, if you were on the show, you saw this piece, this gem right here by Lupin's of Cosmic Wars, and it's a nice homage. And then you know that on the campaign, there's these 2 covers right here, cover A and cover B by myself, yours truly. And today we're gonna drop the new one, and so it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm excited to show that off to all of you guys out there, and then a lot of you know who this young talented phenom is, and so we'll be sharing that. But if you haven't signed up to Cosmic Wars, I wish you do so tonight, because we launch in 2 days, and there's free incentives for first day backers. And right here, you become a first day backer, you automatically become an honorary Cosmic Guardian, Defender of Freedom. This 4-inch sticker could be yours. Look at that, it covers my entire face, bro. Huge, tremendous. And so first day backers, you get that. We'll be hosting live raffles right here on Cast Craze Podcast, backer raffles. And then there's also a bunch of other ways for you to get some really cool stuff. And I'm also supporting, I'm also cross promoting with another fellow independent. And right now live, there is Space Monkeys going on by Dave Howard. And so if 10 people, only 10, back both of our campaigns, 10 back Cosmic Wars, and the same 10 people back Space Monkeys, you'll get this print by me. It's a mashup, a crossover of Gorf and Space Monkeys. So we're doing that as a theme. And so, yeah, lots going on. But I'm put the link in the chat for Cosmic Wars on Kickstarter. Sign up today. We're up to 47, which is pretty dope. And so thank you everybody who signed up for the launch. And yeah, I'm just getting ready to really go out. And I mean, I created Gorf when I was 12 years old. I was on Pops Van Zant's The Madness show. Was it yesterday? Time goes by so fast. But I was on the Madness show, and they asked me about drawing Gorf, and and the only thing I could think of, it's drawing Gorf for me felt like a lifelong friend, because he's been with me since I was a kid, since I was 12 years old. And I equated it to, when you're a kid, you get on your bike with your buddy after school, and you got your bag of chips and you get your 25-cent juice, and you just ride off, and your parents don't know where you are, and you're just going on this adventure, and you're like an entire borough away from home, and nobody knows where you are, because at that time there were no cell phones and there were none of that stuff, and it was just living as kids. And that's why I feel like when I'm drawing Gorf, I feel like it's an old friend, and we're just catching up on old times. And so that having fun with this. And I launched it, I introduced it first under Crazy Comics back in 2003. Never finished the series, and then because
hold on, Samuel, you're getting ahead of yourself over here, buddy. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit, because I do want to talk about that, but let's talk a little bit about what's going on this weekend. Let's get that out of the way, and then we'll go into.
That's what it is. Damn, we used to write together, bro.
We'll go into my entire childhood.
Right, front. That's what I'm saying. In the neighborhood, that's what we used to do.
Yeah. But so all right. So I know we have that, and we're going to talk about that in depth. I want to talk to you about that. But this weekend, what you got anything coming up? What I know you've been working on that. What else?
This weekend is the launch. Next weekend is the convention.
Right.
This weekend is the launch. So this Thursday is the launch of Cosmic Wars on Kickstarter. Next weekend, we're going to be at Texoma Comic Con. And I got a special. I'll be giving away some really cool stuff at Texoma Comic Con to tie into Cosmic Wars. So if you want to get this free exclusive trading card, you got to be at Texoma. And for everybody at Texoma, you get 2 chances to walk away with some really cool stuff. So you'll get the card as an introduction to what I do, and then if you back it live while we're there, you'll get that foreign sticker from me right there on the spot. Bam! As a thank you. So you walk away with a card and a sticker at Texoma Comic Con just for supporting Cosmic Gorf.
Yeah, no, I know you got that. And I think you got, what do you got? You got Lit, right? Lit.com? I mean, LitCon or whatever.
Right,
LitCon's coming up.
Yeah, right after in March. And then Free Comic Book Day in Maine. That's all I got right now for the year.
Yeah, you're not doing anything else?
I haven't signed up for anything else because I really want to focus on if I do anything, it'll probably be towards the fall. I really want to just focus on getting Cosmic done, getting it fulfilled, launching Designating My Toilet issue number 8 in time for the summer, and getting that into the Dudester's hands, and then we'll go from there. Depending on how Cosmic does, we'll determine if I do the follow-up issue for the fall or for next year, but we'll see. I want to see what this campaign does. As I'm introducing, it's a unique character, unique world. It's an entire universe with a lot of different heroes and villains. So it's different from what's out there right now. And it's not like everything I do is different from what's out there right now. So it's just,
you know what, like I see, and this is you say that, right? But then I've heard a lot of people say what you're talking about. Like we'll see how it does, and then I'll decide. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like if it's a story to tell, man, just tell it. Like, okay, I'll ask you this. What would you consider to be enough for you to say, you know what? All right, I'm going to continue doing it. Like, what do you have to hit in order, or what do you have to see in order for you to decide, okay, you know what? This has some legs. Let me keep going.
I guess if I can get the same, this is the part that I struggle with. And it's hard. And this is real talk.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of the people. I get dozens and dozens and dozens of reposts of my artwork. I get dozens of comments, whether it's on Facebook, on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on LinkedIn. I get lots of feedback and lots of reposts and retweets. And thank you. I love to see that same reception on the Kickstarter. That's my gauge. Right? Can those people that are so supportive on the back end come and show up to bring this to life and make it what, because I got people, they're like, oh man, I love the art style. I love the concept. I love this. I love that. If I can get that same reception, because if that was the case, then I would never have to worry about how hard I have to hustle to get it out there, because then the people that appreciate it on the post that get all the artwork for free, because that's basically what it is. You're seeing the artwork for free, to actually see it in production and get it into their hands and read the story and then give me feedback. That's the other thing. But I don't know. I don't put a number in it. I would just say what I see out there that I get in the social media space. If I can get that same result on Kickstarter, that'd be dope.
See, I think that
it's really hard for me to put a number to it, because I don't know what I've always, we've been, the campaigns get funded, but I don't get. I'm trying to figure out what that secret weapon is. I don't know.
I think, listen, man, I think you and I are in the same boat, where the content that we create is for a younger audience. The younger audience isn't necessarily on Kickstarter. They don't have the credit cards. The kids who would like our stuff don't have the power to say, hey, I'm going to order this right now. Plus, kids don't have the attention, not the attention span, but kids don't have, they're not going to wait around 2-3 months for a comic book to come in the mail. They want it now, and they want to read that as soon as they get home. They go to Barnes & Nobles, pick up Dogman or whatever, and they take it home and read it, and they're done with it. You know what I mean? So we don't have that. So it's hard to gauge that. Well, if depends on how the Kickstarter does, and then I'll decide, because you don't know. I say this because I have.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I have the utmost, belief that something like Cosmic Wars, something like, you know, what you've done with Duty, my Wonder Dog and stuff like that, I think that that stuff has legs. It's just not going to necessarily happen online. And I think that if we say to ourselves, well, I'm going to see how it does on Kickstarter, or I'm going to see how it does online to see if I continue the story, then we're kind of like not giving it a real chance. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I think to me, it's like
I don't
finish the story, or at least not because it's an ongoing series, but finish at least the first arc of that story, and then see how it does. You know what I'm saying? So at least you have something.
My point is, do I go back and forth between that and Duty? It's only worth it if it has legs, right? So for me, it's like as soon as this campaign's over, I'm going right into Designated My Toilet issue number 8, right? And but again, I haven't introduced it to the convention scene or anybody. You know, it's right now the introduction is going to be on Kickstarter. I'll see what happens in the real world.
Yeah. No, and I think that's the other thing, right? Time, right? We wish we had all the time in the world, and like because you do it all, there is no time to kind of like do both at the same time. No. So, but here's the thing with Duty, right? I mean, obviously it's a 10-issue miniseries. You want to finish that, and that's what I mean. You never said, "Well, let me see how Duty does, and then I'll continue." No, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're up to 8. You understand what I'm saying? So like, and to your point, the campaigns haven't necessarily been gangbusters, but you love the character, you love the story, so you're putting it out. And I think that, to me, that's the same. I think that should be the mindset for Gorf and Cosmic Wars should be. You know what? I have a story that I want to tell here. I don't care what it does on Kickstarter at this point, man. I got to get this story out. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a good story, dude. Honestly, like that's when we met back in 03. It was at the School of Visual Arts, and that's what you were working on at the time. Yeah. It was Cosmic Wars. It was Crazy Comics, and I came in with Russ, and and that's what we put out when we went to the first convention. You had that, and I had my book, and I think that I don't know, man. I think you should not just see, let's see how it does, but it's coming, man. Because
the reality is that the fact of the matter is because I do it all, I have to pick and choose my battles, right? Yeah. And I can't, and it's one, even like when I was talking on the Madness show, like when I did stuff for clients, I have to stop what I'm doing with my stuff so I can give them the full attention and then go back to my stuff. So like for me, I want to complete one project and then move on to the next one. I don't want to work on 2 simultaneously because it dilutes it, right? Because then I feel like pressure. I want to just put pure love and heart and soul into the project and then go on to the next one. I feel like I need to release issue 8 this year. Get that in. I want to keep Duty relevant until and I want to get that. My goal is to finish the series and get it into a 10-issue collected omnibus. That's the goal. But with Gorf, I mean, look, I love it. I know you love it. I want others to love it, and I want to introduce it. And so it's like introducing your kid, right? Take it to the world, right? It's like you don't know what it looks like until it does. But I know I have fun drawing it. I know that I will, if I'm capable of, and health and everything works out right, I will finish the series as long as I can, because that's the only one I'm going to work on when Duty's done, right? And so it's just a pick and choose in my battle. This is going to be a nice gauge for me, introducing something. So far we've done the Crazies, you've seen Forbidden, you've seen Duty. Now I introduce Cosmic Wars, and it's a fun, exciting book, and I just can't wait for people to get it, and read it. That's basically what it is. It's like, I mean, I'm again having the best of times during it, and we'll see what happens, bro. And that's the thing. I think I'm an optimist, but I'm also a realist, and and I get excited. There are days where I'm like, I'm gangbusters. I'm like, oh yeah. Then there are days like, well, it's a little, it's rough out there, right? So it's like. Yeah. It's like the 2 demons, right? It's like you got the angel and you got the demon on your shoulder. It's like, yeah, you're gonna do great. Then the demon's like, oh, you suck, right? So it's like you're at a crossroads.
It's especially hard when you do it all. Like when you're there is no, like as a writer, you can kind of like fall back on the artist and be like, okay, well, the artist dope. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good. When you're the artist, the writer, and everything, you're doing everything. Like they see it all. Like you are the person responsible. The good thing about it is that if they do love it, you don't have to share that with anybody. You don't have to be like, you don't get the, oh man, the artwork is great, but you didn't do it. So you're like, yeah, thanks. You know, what you think about the story? You know, like you get, if they say the artwork is great, I did it. If they say the story's awesome, great, I wrote it. So you get the best of both worlds, but at the same time, to your point, it's hard. Aniwa says, I can totally relate, brother Sam.
Thanks, brother.
What's up, Craze? Yo, what up, Michael? But yeah, man, no, I think that it's one of those stories that it's fun. And I say that, and I saw it from the very beginning when you used to do the backgrounds in a 3D format. So let's talk a little bit about the beginnings of Gorf. I know how the story started. I know, big fan of the sitcom. What is it? All in the Family? Not All in the Family. It's
no, Too Close.
Too Close for Comfort. Too Close for Comfort.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. So tell us about the beginning of Gorf and how that came about and stuff.
Well, and I said it on the Madness show. When you look at Gorf, the original concept design when I was a kid, you can see the influences, right? So I always wanted them digging the content. Thank you, man. I love it. Thank you. Appreciate it. I grew up watching Fraggle Rock, right? I grew up the Dark Crystal. Anything Jim Henson did, I was all in with Jim Henson, right? Mm-hmm. And I watched Too Close for Comfort. I grew up with Looney Tunes with Marvin the Martian, and then it was Henry, the father, was a comic artist, and he created a comic strip called Cosmic Cow, right? So I said, I want a cosmic character, right? And so that's how Cosmic Gorf was born, because I love the word cosmic in front of the title. And but Gorf was originally named Scrungy when I first created him, right? And he was goofy looking, and he was like it was totally different. He looks like a mashup of Alf and a Fraggle, and it was just I was 12, bro. And so then as I am fleshing out his story of Gorf, he started evolving. His look started evolving, and I started cleaning it up, and I started making him more stronger looking and not goofy because Scrungy was goofy and all that stuff, whatever. And that's how he started evolving. It was a lot of my influences as a kid, and I just started to build in the world. Oh no, Scrungy! Good decision. I know, right? Scrungy, protector of the universe.
Where'd you get Scrungy from? Like, what was it? Because you had a sister, and she used to wear scrunchies in her hair. Like, where'd you get Scrungy from?
There was also a card game. Yes, there was an arcade game called Gorf. Yes, there was. Every creative or hey, what's up, Casey? No, so all right, don't laugh. But when I was a kid, Scrungy was my imaginary friend.
All right.
And then I just illustrated my imaginary friend, right? And so I put it, and I gave him form, and that's where. And then he evolved into Gorf.
Yeah. Okay. Now, is Gorf frog backwards to you, or Gorf? Where did Gorf come? Well, like, why did you go to Gorf? All right. So
it's the same thing. Gorf. It's the same thing with Duty, bro. I can't tell you. It's like with Zanzarax and Zarkinar. Okay. The names just pop in my head. It's like I don't know. I 100% believe this from the bottom of my soul that when I'm in the creative space, I'm being channeled by some artist that never fulfilled his role in the human form, and he's using me as a vessel, because the characters and the names come from there. It's like I'm not sitting there like I gotta come up with it. It comes in my head. It just pops up. I'm like, oh, boom, and I just write it down. And sometimes I see the character in my when I close my eyes, and I have to be in the zone. When I'm in the zone, it just flows. When I'm not in the zone, I don't try to force it because it doesn't feel organic.
Yeah.
Sam is crazy. Yeah, word. You know what I mean? But I think I think all creatives, the universe talks to you, and we're just channeling stuff that's out there, and it's just coming. Boom, 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 boom.
It's funny, man. I was watching this like a mini documentary on Alf, right? Yeah. And I didn't realize that it didn't have an ending. Like they basically canceled it. before this show could end. But in watching that and knowing that that's one of your favorite characters, I can see a lot of what inspired you, even when you're creating or when you're talking about duty and and the things that he goes through. I'm like, oh wow, like a lot of that came from watching the things that we watch. Have you stopped watching things so that they don't influence you as much? Because as kids, we don't care, right? We just do that stuff. But
the problem is I don't watch anything. The content today is very different from where I grew up, right? So I don't watch a lot of crap, so I watch a lot of another 48 hours, whatever, the crime series, right? I watch a lot of documentaries. I watch watch a lot of podcasts on politics and all that stuff, whatever. I watch military podcasts, so I watch a lot of that stuff. I don't watch anything that used to influence me as a kid because there's not enough of it that's very inspiring. Like, the last thing that really inspired me was Blue-Eyed Samurai, right? I love that. It was beautiful, right? So that, and that was when I was on a samurai kick with duty, right? And but the stuff that influenced me as a kid, it was different from, there's not enough of it today. You know what I mean? At least I don't connect with whatever's out there today. And I think that's the hard part.
So Casey says, I watch a lot of Me TV tunes. Interesting. I've never heard of
what is that?
TV. Yeah, never heard of that. Never heard of that.
Like there's a channel here that is just Alf 24/7. I'll pop that on and I'll watch old reruns of Alf, because I love it, So but there's not enough of the stuff that inspired me creatively. So most of the time for me, I go to I watch live drawings of other people, right? I look at and I listen to, like, when they're talking, like David Finch when he's drawing live, right? And I hear the stories that they share, right? So I'll just listen to that. I'll watch some of Rob Liefeld's podcast and I'll listen to the stories that he's telling from the past and all that stuff, whatever. Trying to pull stuff, but I get a lot of art of books, but there's nothing that's really gotten me juvenile related or young related that really makes me want to stop and go and watch it.
I was Anibal had mentioned that we talked about creators have to be crazy sometimes, but we also talked, and I also talked to Anibal about me, for example. I was a huge fan of cartoons growing up, right?
Yeah. But
when you think about the cartoons that I grew up with, and a lot of those kind of blend into the ones that you watched, I just feel like they were better. And I know it sounds like the old man get off my lawn stuff.
They were.
But they were, right? When you think about, like, and I'm going to tell you just the ones that I watched in the 80s, because I'm sure you had others that you watched. But like when you talk about the He-Mans and you talk about the Voltrons, the Transformers, the G.I. Joes, the Thundercats, like those cartoons to me, and even when you go to the goofy cartoons, the Heathcliffs and the Dennis the Menace and, all the Hanna-Barbera stuff that was out there. It was different. Like, I feel like today kids are more into, like, obviously the video games and and different things that I can't, even like the manga that, and there's a lot of like anime that's dope. And I'm sure it is. I can't vibe with that anymore. Like I can't watch cartoons the way I used to watch cartoons back in the day. The Smurfs. Like you had so many things to go to. And I feel like there was something for everybody. Did you know, I was watching this thing today, the Flintstones debuted as a nightly sitcom. It wasn't even a Saturday morning cartoon. It debuted in 1960 at 8:30 p.m. on ABC. And it was the first adult cartoon sitcom ever, right? That's what this got the idea from. But then we grew up watching the Flintstones as just the cartoon for us, and the Jetsons and all that other stuff. But like, I feel like there isn't that anymore. And to your point,
because those, they had stories, when you think about it, like, when a lot of it was about community, it was overcoming adversity, it was about family, right? It was about friendship, it was about bonds, right? And there was always these stories, there was always a collective. And today is more individualized, right? So it's hard to relate because it's like a separation of the group. And I think that's the hard part. It's hard to relate because we grew up in an environment where it was about community. We grew up in a generation where we talked to each other, where we played with each other, where we went on adventures together. Today, it's about the individual achievement and in your personal space, and it's hard to connect with people.
I think, and as much listen, and as much as I love, like the Dark Knight and those comic books, right? When Frank Moore came in and like they did all that stuff. While they changed the game for comics and they made comics more, I think that they took away some of that. They brought in a lot of gray area into comics, where like the anti-hero, right?
Yeah.
The vigilante, that kind of person, where the lines now were blurred between good versus evil. It was like, well, you know, the Punisher, they killed his family. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got to go avenge some stuff. You know, it became Death Wish. It became those 80s movies that my dad used to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like with some of those. And I think that kind of blurred the line in comics. And now we expect that in comics.
Yeah.
If Superman didn't work for a long time because he was too vanilla. Like, he's good. So what? Boring. Batman's cool because Batman's got a dark side. You know what I'm saying? And so we forget about kids and what they want to watch. We give them that. We say, no, yo, watch this. This is kind of like, and so there isn't that, oh, let's just watch something goofy and fun. Yeah. You know, let's go watch something that says this is good and this is bad. No. That's boring, man. That they have to be interesting. In order to make a character interesting, he's got to have all these gray areas.
Yeah, and we used to have
us, realistic.
And we used to have themed cartoons every season. Like you would have Bugs Bunny Halloween special, right? You have Fat Albert Halloween special, Christmas special. They would have themes for the holidays too, right? It was always about, you know, and there was always a message, and there was always something, and there was a journey and an adventure and things to overcome, and you know, and then finding yourself as you know, as you're growing from a boy to a man or whatever. It's just different today, you know, and then you know, it's like even holidays became taboo to say specific things. Everything just became so politically correct that there was an agenda behind things, because it wasn't fun anymore. Nothing was fun anymore. And you didn't know what topics you can say in public. You didn't know what you could do, right? So where's the creativity? That's why they recycle so many old IPs.
Oh yeah.
That's why all these other new companies that are coming out are looking for open domain characters or IPs that they can license, right? Because it's an easy win. Yeah, because the creativity is almost, it's like, where's the creativity? Where's that new breed? Where's that next generation of that's where's that next image revolution, right? It's like where you have these creatives. You know, the industry was so disrupted from that whole generation of the image. They will never allow creators to take the limelight anymore. They won't do it, right? And it's the same thing with movies. That's why they recycle. Even when you fall in love with an actor, if the actor becomes bigger than the brand, they get rid of the actor and they move on, right? So it's I don't know. I don't recognize. I think I try to stay pure to what inspired me, and it's hard sometimes because you know I gotta pull it from somewhere, and what helps me is going back, because I have like the big collectives of old comic strips like Garfield and Heathcliff and the Peanuts, and you know, I have those, and so I can go back and I can pull it up, and it reminds me of that the innocence when you were a kid, when you just and you get into that space, right? And they're like, okay, cool, and then I can go back and draw, and I'm charged up again, and I'm inspired again, right? But it's work.
And I think I love those themes. And let me just address the chat a little bit. So yeah, like the superhero cartoons that KC, the videos that he does on his YouTube channel. If you guys don't know, he was here with us like what was it, last week or a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about those videos. The Simpsons, the Simpsons were very much came from like the Flintstones and South Park, and more Rick and Morty and stuff. Kindness is the new punk rock. Rudolph and Frosty, my favorites. Yo, Frosty was heartbreaking, bro. Like that story, man. Like I loved it. It because you know Frosty. Hey, it's a snowman, right? Like my man's got to go as soon as it starts getting warm outside. You know what I mean? It was the one of those things that was great to watch. I just think that we need to bring that back to some of the stories we write. I think there's room for everything, man. You can still have the dark stuff, and you can still have all of that stuff, and the ambiguous characters. Is he good? Is he bad? Is she good? Is she bad? You know, and all that stuff. We can still have that in comics, but I think you still need the pure good versus evil stories that are very simple in nature. I think you know, if you're a good writer, you can make that interesting. You don't have to make it, dark and evil for you to be a good writer, and that's what channel. No, if you can make a story like that, the good versus evil story, cool or like fun, then you did it. You're a great writer, dude. Because that's not the norm now. That isn't the norm. And I think we need more of that, dude. We definitely do.
Yeah.
We don't have it, and that's why you have stories like Cosmic Core.
Yeah.
And you have stories like the ones that we're writing. Sincere creative passion is punished because it reminds people how much they had to sacrifice to be normal.
Yeah. It was interesting. I was listening to a podcast with Summit Comics, right? They're getting ready to launch their campaign, whatever. They're creating their own comic universe, superhero universe. And one of the things that they said that I found interesting, they took a stance. They said, we won't do not safe for work covers because that's not the world we're building. Right. Just to get did Summit Comics. It was the team. They were on Comics Launch podcast.
Okay.
And they said we won't do not safe for work covers because that's not the intent of the story. And that's not the universe we're trying to build. We're trying to go back to the roots of superhero worlds, and we're creating this whole universe. And I thought it was fascinating that their approach, because the pressure is to make sales, right? And sometimes, and rather than tell a great story, it's like I need a gimmick to get them to pick up the book, and hopefully they want to buy the next one, right? And that's the first time I've heard someone that's coming out as a publisher taking a position that because they made they say on Kickstarter we need to do at least 6,000 to 8,000 in order to recoup what we need to spend. So that was like this thing, but they're focusing on and all of their advertisements and all their promotion is about the universe.
So if you're talking about Summit, the Pinnacle #1 that's on Kickstarter right now, they're at $22,809. 407 backers and 15 days to go. So it can be done.
It can be done.
And I love that because it gives you hope that you don't have to do that in order for you to make the 5 figures that you want to make.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. Yeah, 22. Is that the one that Sarah?
Yes.
She was on the show. Sarah Cook.
Yeah,
she's been a big shout out to her, man. I think she's got it's an anthology, right? It's an anthology book
that she was on. Yeah, but
I think this is an anthology book.
Is it? Probably.
Yeah.
I was just listening to it on the car because I was in traffic for 2 hours, and I put on Comics Launch, and I was like, all right, let me listen to it. I was listening to it today, and I was like, oh, that was pretty fascinating approach for them, but they're focusing on telling a great story and building a world that makes sense and giving the characters like real depth and layers and history. And I thought it was beautiful, right? Because I was listening to it, I was like, wow, that's awesome. Because a lot of times, I mean, the market's saturated and there's so many projects going out there, but a lot of it is just, can I make a hit? Can I make, can I get this? And can I get, will this be a hit? Well, can I make a hit? If not, let me throw that away and try something new rather than investing in something. And they're trying to build this entire universe, which I thought it was pretty fascinating.
So, you brought that up, and I know we have, like, we were talking about, I was telling you about the topic to talk about today while we're doing the show. And it would be, when should you bring an old IP back? And why should you bring an old IP back, right? So let me ask you that first, but then I want to go into like what I think what a lot of us do wrong, right? But yeah, why did you decide to bring Gorf back now? And when do you think it's the right time to do something like that?
I think like every 3 months you brought it up. I think you kept asking when you're gonna do Gorf, right? I think it was like every 3 months, right? And then I sat down, and I was digging through the crates and going through my old stuff, and I was like, tomorrow's not promised, bro. Right? I can say I'm gonna do it when I'm done with this, but it may never happen because we don't know what tomorrow holds. We don't know if we're gonna be here the next day. We don't know, right? So I was like, what I do know is that I can do it now. What's stopping me? So I think what energized me was Forbidden's done. It's out there right now. I'm working on getting it in stores, right? So the omnibus is done. I'm getting the ISB number and the barcodes and all that stuff to get it into stores. And Duty's 3 issues away from being done, right? And so I was like, let me introduce Cosmic as I'm going towards the end cycle of designating my toilet, the title. because Duty is a different brand, but the title, There's Nailing My Toilet. And let me introduce it now while I still can. So it was a good break between Forbidden and issue 8 of There's Nailing My Toilet to be able to go back. And then what happened was, it was also a good challenge because when I first created Cosmic Wars, I built all of my backgrounds in 3D programs.
Yeah.
And I illustrated. It's funny because, I have all my 11 by 17 storyboards. I illustrated on paper. I scanned them in. I colored it in Photoshop, and then I merged it with the lighting and try to blend it all in with 3D backgrounds that I created in 3D programs. So I was like, this is a great challenge now for me because I've matured so much as an illustrator to do it without a 3D program, right? And so, and to draw Gorf again. And then what I found was when I started drawing Gorf again, dude, I felt like a kid again, bro. Like I remembered how it made me feel when we introduced it at Big Apple Comic Con for the first time, and the reception and the people, and it was like that. All of that just consumed me, and it was like, oh my god, all the memories started flooding, and I just couldn't stop drawing. And then I just started opening it up, and then I realized how many unfinished pages I had from back in the days. That I just when I started bringing up the story, I was like, man, all these things I never did, And so I said, all right, let me redraw that page, right? And I just started redrawing the page. There's the scene with Empress Nani, right? And with her warriors. That's a double page spread that I drew back in the days, right? And so it was black and white. I scanned it in, but I never colored it, right? So I said, let me redraw this, right? So I used that as my thumbnail, and I put it in Clip Studio, and I drew over it, making sure I capture her look, but getting the shapes right because I've matured. So I think that I just started having fun. And then the colors, I started playing with the colors, and Cosmic Wars is always vibrant and colorful, and the colors, and I just been focusing on just. Then I pulled up the Bible, and I was like, wait, I got characters I never introduced back then. This would be a good character to introduce now, based on this series. In the way I re-scripted, because I took issue 0 and 1 and I merged it, and then I tweaked it. And the way I'm doing it, it's gonna introduce a lot. It's gonna introduce you to the universe, and then you get to pick who you anticipate being your favorite character, or hopefully you fall in love with one of the characters. But it just became exciting, right? And it felt like a good vacation, connecting with old friends before I go back and play with Duty again, right? So it was like that was where I felt, and it just took over, and I don't know. I'm having the best time in a crazy time to be alive, right? It's a great escape from this crazy world that we're in, and I'm glad I have the opportunity to do it, and I'm glad I have an opportunity in 2 days to introduce it to a whole new audience.
Yeah. No, I think that timing is everything when it comes to these things, and I think that now it's a good time to introduce something new, I think, and bring it back to like the old school way of what comics were and what comics used to be. That to me, that's what I like about the story. I mean, I know that you could talk about what the story's about, but I think that for me, it's like we were talking about, right? That good versus evil kind of thing. But tell them what is the story about, and what is it that they're going to be seeing on Thursday, because that's coming up, man, 2 days from now.
Well, it's Cosmic Wars, Guardian of the Athenian Star. That is the centerpiece of the entire conflict that's happening in an entire different universe. And so basically there was a king. His kingdom was responsible for protecting the star from getting into the wrong hands. And in the wrong hands, it's capable of mass destruction, right? So they have to keep it from the enemy. And so there was this great battle. But Gorf didn't make it on time, and so the king fell in the great battle. And Gorf was responsible for protecting him, so he blamed himself. So Gorf went into exile, self-inflicted exile, because he's ashamed. He let the universe down, right? And so what happens is now by proxy, Princess Reina becomes the ruler of Crystallia, and there's never been a female. So now she has, where there are other planets don't want to support a female because it's never been done before. Some will, some don't. And so she's at a crossroads, having to prove herself, knowing that there's a threat. She has Zarkanar. He's an overlord, pirate overlord, who wants the star. And you have Lord Evil and his empire that's trying to get at it. So there's a big conflict coming, and she knows that they're not prepared. But she has a captain of the Royal Guard. His name is Captain M3, who doesn't believe he needs help and doesn't want her to go and seek the aid of Gorf. He thinks Gorf is he lost credibility in Captain M3's eyes. So he's a has-been in his eyes. So he says, we don't need him. But the princess knows better. So she risks everything in search, even going off on her own in search of Gorf, because she needs him and she has to find him. And he's in a sector of the universe that is very chaotic and it's a lot of danger. And so she has to go and risk everything to go and find him before it's too late. And so that's the whole thing. And Gorf is stuck between a rock and a hard place because he's stuck with his feelings, because he secretly is in love with Princess Reina, but he also knows that he let the entire universe down. So he's trying to find peace, but he doesn't find peace. Right, even in this process, there's an adventure going on. So there's a lot of elements to this.
So you're doing the cardinal sin of like pitching a story. I'm doing it. So like, because
spoiler alert.
At this point,
you don't know what happens though.
No. But this is why I say to you, you got to finish the story. Forget about, well, we'll see how it does. No. This is a great freaking story. It needs to be finished. I don't know how you're going to do it, but you got to do it. But you got to do it. You got to do it because you have a rich story that you're telling here. And you're telling me that book 0, depending on how it does, we're not going to see book 1. Like, that's crazy when there's so much, because in book 0, a lot of what you just talked about doesn't happen in book 0. It just doesn't. You gotta wait. You gotta wait. We may never get it. He goes, Sam,
you're never gonna get it.
Big shout out to D, man. David Howard, aka Nem. He's in the house. Don't forget, his Kickstarter is live right now.
Yeah.
For these Space
Monkeys.
Make sure you pledge to that campaign.
And just remember, if 10 of you back Space Monkeys and back Cosmic, everybody on Cosmic Wars will get this mashup of Gorf and Space Monkeys by me.
I also wanted to say that, like, again, I mentioned this before. We've known each other for a very long time. I met you when you were putting this story out. And for those who may think, oh man, is he doing the whole thing, women, powerful women and stories and all that other stuff? No. This story was this way back in 03, before it was cool to have female hero characters in your book. You know what I'm saying? So there's none of that going on here. This is a legit, like, that's what the story was. That's what the story's always been. I mean, when you look at Forbidden, you've always had strong, powerful female characters in your book. So this isn't anything that's new. Bro, don't promo my stuff while you're giving Sam his props. Thank you, though. No, because it goes hand in hand. I think to me,
it is.
Yeah, to me, it's like, you know, you guys have 2 campaigns going at the same time, and you guys, you know, it just goes hand in hand. But no, props to both of you. And I think, again, Sam, with that story, man, like, I just think that regardless of what this campaign does, and it may make 1,000, it may make 5, it may make 10. This could be your first 5-digit, you know, campaign. But I don't think that determines whether or not this story should be told. Or the only thing that can stop you from doing that is your time and how much time you have. Not alive. I'm talking about how much time you have during the day to get things done. And I get that. I totally get that. And I think, you know, some of the people watching, like, I know Daphne does it all in her stories. Aniba's working on a story where he does it all. Lou is an artist, and she knows how tough it is to get these things done when you're an artist and get all that stuff done. So I get that. I totally get it. But I don't think that like you said, you don't even have a number that defines how much it is. But I just think it's too much of an interesting story for you not to at least try to see how much of that you can get out. What is the hardest hurdle with this project? The risk of not making enough money, or having overall difficulty in connecting with your intended audience? I think it's A and B.
I think it's everything. I think,
it's all of it. Yeah.
I think if we're being honest with ourselves, I think, you know, validation comes from reception, right? And how people receive the work that you create, right? And I think that's you put your heart and soul into something, and you want to hope, and you hope that it speaks to many people, right? It's tough, right? Because we are all limited in scope, right? We're all limited in reach, right? So in the circle that we create, like in the social media space, engagement doesn't mean conversion, right? So I get tons of engagement, I just don't get the conversion, right?
Yeah.
So that's the hard pill to swallow and understand when you're a creative, right? Like, wait, well, how come it's not converting to, sales? Because that's the biggest form. And it's like, am I giving too much content away for free? Should I just not and put all of it out on social media space and just do focus on my website? You go through all those things when you question yourself.
I think it's all of it, dude, because for a while I was like, these email lists, they don't freaking work. Like, it's a lot of work to compile, nobody read. It's not true. I mean, I have like the shameless plug stuff. It's up on my website now. I sent an email a few weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, about the fact that the book was ready to rock and roll. I'm about to do the covers. You can vote on the covers. You can pre-order the book now, and I got about 6 or 7 pre-orders right off of that one email. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not a big number. It's not like, oh yeah, we're good for you, George. But it's that conversion that you're talking about. It's not just a like on Facebook. It's, I went directly to you. You looked at it, you read it, you were like, oh, this is kind of cool. Let me check it out. You clicked on the website, went to the website, opened it, stood there for a little bit, said, you know what, let me give this a shot. Boom, ordered it. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of that is how easy, you got to make it easy for the customer. If they have to work too hard to find your book or find a way to buy your book, you lost them. You lost them. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, as much as like what you were talking about the story, we talk about this all the time. The pitch is quick. Boom. What is it about? Tell us what it's about. Done. Right? Because once you start talking about it too much, you may lose them. They may start thinking, do I really want it? Like I was telling you the other day, like, it's got to be an impulse buy, man. They see it, they want it, boom, they buy it. But you have to make it easy for them. And I think that's what's hard for us too, man. Because I think we're going into the wrong areas, right? Like, and the reason why I say that is because the Pinnacle thing that you were talking about, Summit. They went to Screen Rant, like they went to some of the big kind of like, I guess outlets for us, comic books. They went to those places and say, hey, listen, this is what I have. And that's what we used to do. That's what you used to do back in the days. Remember when we were in San Diego? You used to hit up the media. You got to go to the media. You know what I mean? You got to get that reach out there. And I think that's what these guys have done. And it's $22,000 later. It seems to have worked. Yeah. For each story we read, we should get a pizza. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, we have to kind of like expand our reach beyond just the Instagrams and the Facebooks. And because, a lot of this stuff is behind paywalls now. They want you to pay to play. You know what I mean? At what point does the need to tell the story overwrite the business? Would you just the story as a complete trade? I think you should.
I will. Same thing with Forbidden. Like, Forbidden didn't do what I expected it to do on Kickstarter, but I still did it as a trade, and I'm focusing on getting it into stores. So yes, I will. I think it's how soon I produce it is the question. The question is not will I continue doing Cosmic Wars, because I want to tell that story, right? Just like I wanted to finish getting Forbidden out, and I'm going to finish Duty. Issue 8 is in the summer, so I will. It's just how soon. But the question was, you asked, like issue 8 of Disney in My Toilet is in the summer. In the fall, is it going to be Cosmic Wars number 1, or is it going to be number 9 of Disney in My Toilet? Right? That's the question. So I think that's, for me, it's like this will, do I just focus on finishing that and then go back and pick up where I left over for Cosmic, because that can only do one project at a time, and that's, so I think that's where it is. So yes, I think in my mind, there's several ways I gauge it. I already know that it resonates on social media, because I get a lot of feedback on social media for the artwork I put out there. I don't know yet on Kickstarter just yet until I launch. And then I don't know what it's going to look like when I hit the convention circuits with the product, right? So those are 3 measurements for me on whether or not it's resonating with people. So But yes, I do want to finish it because I've been fleshing it out and I've been writing the follow-up issues that I didn't finish writing back in the days. And so I've been working on world building, but it's just timing.
See, for me, at what point does the need to tell the story override the business? I think the need to tell the story always overrides the business, at least for me. Like, I get it. We have to sell these things, right? But I for me, and this is why I started to write trades. I started to write in, like, for example, the Shameless Plugs, 140 pages, I'm done. That's the story, I'm done. I'm not doing issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, although I love single issues of stuff. I can't do that because I don't have the money to do that. It's a lot of money to hire an artist for me anyway. You talk about time. I don't have the money. You understand? Right. What I try to do is I try to create these stories that are one shot stories that I can put in trades, and we're done and we're moving on. The idea of having to do this every single 3-4 months or whatever is tough, man. It's tough to come up with.
It is. Yeah, it is tough.
To everybody who does that shit, because I don't know how you guys do that shit.
It's an emotional roller coaster. You know, I give a lot of props to all of you guys that do consecutively, consistently. You found your lane. But yeah, it becomes this self-inflicted pressure point. Right, right, because you're constantly watching, you're constantly creating content to post, you're constantly communicating, you're trying to book podcasts, you're trying to, you're working hard. You're working hard, right? And so, and you're constantly looking at the screens, right? So it's always tough.
4 books a year is very tough. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
absolutely. It's tough because we don't have a team of artists and writers to work on these things. It's us. It's us, it's just one person, one person working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I read that before, but I didn't want to interrupt.
I didn't want to mess with your arthritis, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, man, on top of 24 appearances a year. But you know what? But Will, I mean, and I'll ask you this, is it worth it? Are 24 appearances worth it to get the exposure and the fan base out? Because I feel like for William, I mean, he's an incredible artist. And I think that those 24 appearances, man, they're hard as hell, but the way he handles his appearances, I think they pay off, man. And I'm looking for, actually, he's going to be at Texoma, so I'm looking forward to chatting with you. 100% worth it. Yeah, 100% worth it.
Well, yeah.
George, you need to utilize higher margin items to build a war chest for future releases. I hear you. I think, and JD's gonna like this. I think that higher margins comes from bulk printing. And I know you like that, JD. It's printing in bulk that's gonna get you those higher margins. Because to your point, JD, when you print out a book and it's only gonna cost you about $1 to print, you can sell it for $5 and be okay. Or you can even, like to your point, JD, sometimes give it away. Russell, seeing the fans create the ride or die fans. Yeah. You got to connect with them though. And going to 24 appearances is cool, right? But if you just sat behind that table and didn't say anything for those 24 appearances, that was just a waste of time. And I know that William doesn't do that. I know Will stands up and he's talking and he's, we've been there. That's the way we met him when we met him at Texoma. He was chatting it up and he was hustling. And that's what you got to do.
He's always hustling.
And that's what you got. And that's
even when he's not paying attention, he's paying attention. I mean, if you watch him, even if he's gonna draw something, he's constantly aware of who's coming near his table, who's standing by his table. He has like this spider sense.
Yeah. A pen, trading card, bro. Trading cards cost. They're very low cost, high reward when you think about it. Oh, yes, bro. But also, okay. And what did he say? But you have to hit 5K print runs to get. Oh, yeah. No doubt. I'm not saying that. And that's here in the States. If you go outside the States, though, you may not have to hit 5K print runs to get them that low. You know what I'm saying? Outside the US, which some of us refuse to do. No, for sure. But what were we saying? Someone told me I should do NSFW covers to help my campaign. I'm like, NSFW Space Monkeys. You want me to do prison time?
I had a joke, but I want to leave that off the
Yo, Nam, they're trying to set you up, kid. Oh, snap. Yo, is that the answer, right? Like, and just we were having this conversation earlier. It's not. You can make $22,000 without that. Pinnacle just did. But it's about where they're marketing, right? They're marketing this thing on the main, not the main.
They're talking to the main hub.
Us.
The main comic book hub that the comic book news sites and all that stuff, whatever comic book resources and all that stuff.
CBG. Look at this. They went to where they at? They went to Screen Rant, CBR, Graphic Policy. Like they're going to these places where they're gonna get, their stuff out. But yeah, bro, I think that. For example, with your book, again, it's a younger audience. So it's going to be tougher than, say, something that you can put an SFW cover on it, right? But
you know what? It just doesn't resonate with me.
No. But you know what? And what we do, I think what we do is necessary, bro. We need to bring in that younger audience. You know what I mean? We need to bring in those readers who maybe just finished reading Captain Underpants or whatever, Dogman or whatever. They need the next thing, right? They went from that, whatever age group that is, up to 9 years old, from 9 to 12, what do they got? You know what I'm saying? Like they need that. You know what I mean? So do you want to do the cover or what do you want to do?
Yeah. First, Cosmic Wars, there are 4 covers on the campaign that 2 by me, which are right here. These are the 2. Cover A and cover B on the campaign of our main hero, Cosmic Gorf. And then we have a homage variant exclusive cover by none other than Lupin's right here of Cosmic Gorf, which we unveiled last week. And so here is the latest cover reveal. And you guys know this young man. His name is Marco Defillo. And here is the limited edition exclusive Kickstarter cover of our hero Gorf in anime funky style, looking pretty dope and exciting. So yes, this is the latest. So these are the 4 covers available on the campaign. And again, the other 2 covers are only available on Kickstarter. So you're going to want to own these because there's going to be a limited run. It's going to be fun, bro. It's going to be fun.
So Nem says, real question here. Is it a challenge to market to a younger audience because they have the less disposable income? I think so, right? For us, anyway, because there are no, at least I'll say this. For me, and Lou says, very cool. For me, I think it's because I believe in age groups. I believe in ages this to that, ages that to that. All right, I'll let you do that first.
Go ahead.
But do you have an angry artist cover? Oh, snap.
An angry artist cover.
William's the angry artist, bro. Yo. No, but back to what I was saying with the audience. I believe in age group. I believe that there's an age group for everything. So I think that when we're doing what we're doing at a convention, I like to tell parents who come up to the table what age group what I'm doing is for. It's not all ages. My stuff isn't all ages. Wonder Duck looks like it may be for all ages, and you probably is. You guys can take, but I gave it a specific age group, and I gave it up to 10 and over, 10 years old and over. Wow.
Yeah, Cosmic is 10 and up.
Yeah, because when you open up the book, there's gonna be word balloons that have like dozens of words in it that kids are gonna be like, I don't want to read all that. And a parent who's paying $5, $10 for a book may not want to spend that money on a book that his kid's not going to read. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be very mindful of that. And I think that that's what makes it a little harder to market to that audience, because parents maybe don't want to spend that money, bro. They just don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't.
Yeah. I mean, I think Pops asked me what was the age group for Cosmic Wars. I said it's 10 plus. I said because there is, but when you think about the video games parents are allowing the kids to play today with Call of Duty and all that other stuff,
that keeps them quiet. Yeah. They want it. The kid wants it. See, parents want kids to read, right? They want their kids to read, but they also don't want to spend a lot of money to do it. Like, and I get it, dude. $10, $15 on a book that a kid's gonna throw away as soon as it gets home. They don't want to spend that money, bro. A video game's gonna keep them quiet for a while. You know what I mean? So they'll spend the $70 on that thing, regardless of what age group it is, just because it is what it is. Big time. Hey, what up, Marco?
Marco in the house.
Psycho Salas kid friendly. Sure it is, Will.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure it is. But yeah, man.
Did you freeze?
No. I
Oh.
thought you were gonna say something. Not bad.
No. Yeah, you said yeah, man, and you stopped. Oh.
Yeah, no, that was it. That was my period. Yeah, man. Period.
There's no period there, bro. Freaking writers, you should know this. No. I mean, it's exciting. I said number one, it's always great to see other artists' renditions of your work, of your characters. I'm looking forward to this Kickstarter on Thursday. A lot of great stuff, and I just want to remind everybody. You join us live on Cast and Craze podcast. There's going to be live raffles. First day backers to get a free 4-inch Guardian sticker as a thank you for first day backers. And then there's thresholds to get some more free stuff. So there's a lot of good, cool stuff. But not only that, you're going to get a great story. Cosmic Wars, again, I created it when I was 12 years old. It's an entire universe filled with heroes, villains, plots and subplots, or arcs, and backstories, and it's been with me. I don't want to tell you how many years it's been with me, but it's been with me for a while. I was there when Moses parted the sea. He didn't even tell me he was going to do that, and I got my hair wet and my gel got out of place. I said, "Yo, Mo, what's up, bro?" I was like, Warner Brother first, and but I'm excited about this. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, no, man, it's gonna be a good one, man. The chat. The angry artist. How many angry artists do we have in the chat right now? We got Marco,
that sounds like a bunch of angry
artists. Like all angry. All of them are angry. No, big shout out to Marco and Lou, man. They did incredible work on these covers. You know, it's always cool to see the renditions of characters in the hands of another artist, and this is totally awesome. So yeah, these are going to be available on Thursday night. I might need William Russell to do the event Horizon Space Monkeys cover when it happens. Yo, big shout out. I can't wait, man. I'm looking forward to the end of the month. The 20th, right? 20th and 21st is the next week convention. Not this weekend, next weekend. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you guys out there. William and Lori, you, Lou, you're gonna hit up Texoma or what? Marco, are you going to Texoma? Let's go. I'm more of a
Dan Price is going. Dan Price will be there.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we all got to go and get a beer.
Yeah, it'll be good, man. It'll be a good time.
Yeah. We'll get some ginger ale for George.
No ginger ale for me. Too much sugar, bro.
You used to drink that like it was water, bro.
It was water. I was thirsty. Give me a little ginger ale.
That was your drink of choice, bro.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah. No, it's great. So yeah, I mean, the story. What I'm doing with this issue, with this story, with issue 0, is number one, I'm bringing it back to the 0, right? We ain't starting with 1 anymore.
How many pages? How many pages?
It's gonna be a little over 30.
So issue 030 or a little over 30 pages.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
I can't stop.
I like it.
Can't stop, won't stop. So I don't have a final page count because I'm still in the middle of it. But I'm excited, and in order for me to really tell this introduction right, I just gotta let it flow. So wherever it goes, it goes. But I know right now, based on what I'm doing, it's gonna be over 30.
Nice.
So
that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Now I'm doing Sci-Fi Space Monkeys movie posters for the cons. Look at you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just one beer. Yes. But yeah. So I don't even know what we're saying with this.
No, you were talking about the what you bring. Oh my God. What the story's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean I've tailored this introduction. I try to bring back the nostalgic feel to what excited me as a kid, and I'm hoping it excites. So there's going to be some elements to it that even like the word balloons. You know, if you were there with me back in 2003, 2004, 2005 with Cosmic Wars, you know that my word balloons were translucent, they were colored, you know, all that stuff, whatever. So I'm doing all these these things with it, and I'm staying pure to the root of the story, but I'm also adding some real cool intros to the characters in the book. So you'll see as we get when you get it. But you know, I'm trying to give you guys sample page sneak peeks, but not the stuff that I want to excite you with. But but there's going to be some real good sample pages there, and I'm just excited. It's fun. I'm trying to bring back the fun. Think. What was it? Is it? Was it Street Fighter? No, not Street Fighter. What is it called? Was it Street Fighter? No. What is it called? We were talking about it the other day, George.
We were talking about
the cartoon. The cartoon.
I'm lost. The cartoon.
Damn it! I'll remember it in a second. This is the age kicking in, but there's some elements to it that you'll recognize from cartoons, the old school cartoons. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, I think that it is. I mean, if you're talking about over 30 pages, that's amazing, dude. For book 0, that's great, and at the price that you're doing the book, that's amazing. The mind is first thing to go as you get older. Yes, but make sure if you haven't done so, I think you put the links in the chat. Sign up for the launch of the book on Thursday.
Yeah.
And what time? What time is it going to be? At 8 o'clock Eastern?
8 Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, right here on Catch the Craze podcast. We're gonna go live, and 10 minutes after we go live, we're gonna hit that launch button. Again, thank you everybody who signed up so far. I'm looking forward to the night. I'm still working out what I'm going to be raffling off and what the incentive is doing the live launch, but it's going to be fun. And there's a lot of good. There's a 48-hour bundle, a 24-hour bundle that that is only going to last those first 24 hours. So that's going to be dope. So you want to get a hold of that. Show me the cover. You missed it, bro. You missed it, but only because it's you. So I don't know if you've seen the Lupin's cover.
I'm gonna call him back. Pops. Tell Dante I'll call him back.
There's the Lupin's cover, and then here is the Marco Defillo cover. Right here. Boom.
We got shows.
These fantastic covers could be yours Thursday night on Catch the Craze podcast.
So there is a 4-cover bundle, right?
There's a 4-cover bundle. Yeah. There's you can get them individually. You can get them as add-ons. You can get them as a bundle. There's going to be a deal that you're going to save money on that 24-hour bundle. So there's going to be a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. Ed, what up, my dude? Banging out some great work. Thank you, man. Couldn't get enough of the shameless plug. Yo, dude, this is coming your way. It's coming your way. I know you ordered that, so it's coming your way, my brother. Thank you. Going to get some covers. Going to go. Oh, nice. Yeah, blues is dope. Looking forward to Thursday. Yo, so all right. So the 4 covers, they're going to be available in one tier, right?
Yeah. So there's going to be 2 ways that they'll be in a bundle. There's going to be the 4 covers in a 24-hour bundle. There's also going to be the one in the standard reward that covered extra stuff too. So there's going to be one is just the covers. There's going to be one with some extra stuff. So believe it or not, I'm still working on all that stuff, and I'll be working it all tomorrow after till midnight, getting everything finalized because I just got the cover from Marco, and so I'm adding that into the tiers, and because I have to do all that stuff. So I'll be working to the wee hours, and then the day that we launch, it's going to be fun. I love the difference too. I always love to see people's rendition of the characters and the interpretation of how they see it, which is always exciting to see.
Nice,
especially people that I love. I love their work, right? So I'm a big fan of both you and Marco's work, and so I think it was just fun to see it, and I'm excited to show it.
What did them say? Hey George, we read Wonder Dog to some autistic kids on a video chat the other day, and they loved it. Oh man, thanks, dude.
That is dope.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Digging your piece. Yeah, man. That's I love that, man. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, man. Like I said, man, I think that comic books like what we're doing, not because we're doing, I think anybody who's doing comic books for a younger audience, they need to be out there, man. I think they need to be out just like all that other stuff for the adults is out there. You know what I mean? Big shout out to everything that the guys are doing here on the chat. I know that a lot of you guys have some books that are not necessarily for kids. Psycho Sal comes to mind, but those are also great books, and I think that those are also needed. But I think we also need stuff for the younger kids. And the Zed, that was a dope book, bro. So you know, I think we are all necessary in this ecosystem that is independent comic books, man.
Yes.
In order for it to exist, we all are necessary.
Yes.
And we all need to support each other in that way because it's all needed. Even if it's not something, I don't really read that kind of stuff. Okay, that's cool. You may not, but like you always say it, get it for a friend, get it for, you know, somebody who you know who may want that book. Get it for them.
Yeah, it was like that UFC
you know?
fighter. I forgot his name when he snuffed the other UFC fighter when they were doing interviews, and they said, "Was that necessary? Was that really necessary?" He goes, "It was super necessary." Right? So comics and storytelling is super necessary.
Interesting that you would bring that. Let's do this for the kids to these two UFC fighters, right?
You know why? Because his name is George Masvidal.
That kid is a beast.
He's a beast. Yes,
that kid is a beast.
When he used to do bare knuckle fighting with Kimbo Slice.
He was an animal, bro.
He was a street fighter. Yeah, he was a real street fighter.
Hilarious.
Dragon Ball Z. That's what I was trying to think about. Dragon Ball Z. See, I just got my memory back.
There you go.
And so Dragon Ball Z used to have this great introduction to the characters and the cartoons, and I'm trying to capture some of that with some of the things that I'm doing with Cosmic Wars. So that's what I was thinking about. Dragon Ball Z.
That cover by Marco gives me that Dragon Ball Z kind of feel. You know?
Yeah, it has that anime style that I'm really digging on it, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of characters to this book. There's a lot of heroes. There's also sidekicks, right? Like Zap is Gorf's sidekick, and Gorf is his hero, and he really wants to be like Gorf. And then you have Professor Ramses, who raised Gorf, right? There's a tie-in there, right? And then Professor Ramses, who he's on the good side of the story, he has a brother who's on the dark side of the story, right? Who's a villain, right? Zanzarax.
Yeah, but we may never get that because Sam wants to see how issue 0 does.
No, all the characters are introduced in this. All the characters are introduced in issue 0.
For everybody who's watching, okay, I'm looking at you guys. For everybody who's watching, please tune in on February 12th. Pledge to the campaign on February 12th so that we can get more story. Because if we don't, Sam's not going to give us anything. Sam's going to give us an issue 0, and we're going to be stuck. So we all got to come out and support the book. Make sure he hits 10K in this thing, and let's get it done. All right. I almost typed Dragon Ball earlier, but I thought, Sam didn't forget that. Oh yeah,
I did forget it. It was 3 words. That's why Dragon Ball and Z.
83 years ago, he threw this little diamond into the ocean. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, anyway, like a diamond.
Anyway, don't forget.
I do.
Guys.
Yes, thank you, because I do believe, for everybody who signed up for the campaign, everybody who enjoyed Duty and Forbidden, if you're planning on backing Cosmic Wars, please do so on launch night. Please do so on launch night. Remember, they don't collect the funds to the end of the campaign, but please do so because I want the algorithms to work in Cosmic's favor, and that'll only happen with your support. So if you signed up with the intent of getting yourself a copy of the book,
it's been 84 years, Sam.
I would love for you to back it on day 1.
Yes, it is.
It's been 84 years. Damn, Lou. Dang.
Lou's good.
What happened, Lou? I thought we were tight.
I like it.
Oh, she's been choosing the dreamer. Oh, man.
What do you mean? There's no choosing.
That's the second time. That's the second time,
bro.
First you posted on Facebook, and she went all in.
That's it was
age
all
discrimination,
love,
bro.
That's all love, Lou.
That's ageism, bro.
Age discrimination, Lou. Oh snap! Funny stuff,
bro. Get my walking stick.
Hey, listen, hang out. Come check us out on Thursday. Next week we don't have a guest because it's all about the Gorf.
It's all about Gorf.
About the Gorfy Gorf. So next there will be no guest, but we will be here doing a little bit more of this.
But I think I'm on Keith Gleason's show next week.
You think?
Yeah.
You better find out.
I got a bunch of shows lined up. So I got Story Comic. I'm on this podcast. I'm on a few podcasts coming up. I just did the Madness.
Big shout out to big shout out to Barney Smith.
Yes.
Huge shout out to him. And huge shout out to actually Keith. I'm actually gonna go to his convention in August, Plastic City Comic Con. So Keith Gleason. I will be there. I'll be doing a panel at that concert. If you guys are in that area, come out and check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sam, that's all I got, bro. That's all I got.
That's all I got. May the Gorf be with you. No.
Wow. Ooh. Don't forget, before we go, go to your comic book shop, pick up The Adventures of Wonder Duck #5, and then go to my website and pick up the retail edition of The Shameless Plugs, available now. Chapter 1. Go ahead, Sammy.
10 a.m. Eastern time, which is 9 a.m. We got to work that out because I'm usually at work between that time, but we'll figure that out. I'll try to like take a coffee break or something, sneak out of the building and say I'm running an errand. I don't know, but I'll go to Home Depot or something. But thank you, them. Appreciate that. I hear you, George. I plan to push Cosmic Wars to his. Oh man. Hearts.
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that. But
we are all necessary.
Super necessary. But yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you guys for backing Forbidden. I hope you enjoyed it. I know all of them have landed by now, except for George, because you'll get it when you get here.
Yeah.
And thank you for being with us for Catch the Crazies and There's Nail in My Toilet and Rush 5377 and Wonder Duck. And come out and tap into my youth. Experience the mind of a 12-year-old when I created Cosmic Gorf, who used to be called Scrungy, who was my imaginary friend. And I can't wait to share that with all of you guys. It's all love. I love doing this, and I'm excited to share this with you. And I know that we'll make it a fun night. And join us right here live. And for all you independent creators out there, there's a link on the show notes. There's a link on the YouTube channel. And if you go to dudesworld.com, you don't have to ask me to be on the show. It's an open invite to independents out there of all walks of life. Just hit the link and book yourself a spot. And it's as simple as that. I get all these requests. It's like, just hit the link, just book yourself a slot. We do the show because we love the art form. We're the longest running independent comic book podcast in the game. We're the first of its kind. We're past 617 episodes and we're going strong. And we do it because we're fans of the art form and the independent community. And when we grow, so does the community. So thank you all for your support. With that said, I am Sam the Crazy Man Bearer.
The Dream of Medina.
And we are out.
It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy. Acquiesce.
No, it's talking about my friend Acquiesce. Say my name, right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh, my.
He described me. He said, I'm the
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.
Candy girl.